Here's a sparrow that didn't start out as a sparrow. First described in 1903, the cinnamon ibon has caused confusion for over a century. It's endemic to the Philippines, but has flown under the radar as the country's only native sparrow species. Other sparrow species exist in this island country, often all being lumped together under the common name Maya. But they aren't natives. Introduced via trade ships, these other sparrows are invasive. Yet, they're far more widely known by locals. So why doesn't the cinnamon ibon have the recognition it deserves? First, some context. Prior to 1995, the chestnut munya was the national bird of the Philippines. It lost this title to the Philippine eagle, which has held it since. The chestnut munya was colloquially known as the red maya for its red body. At the same time, another bird commonly seen in cities and suburban gardens was referred to as maya. This was the introduced Eurasian tree sparrow. While not native, this little bird's widespread ubiquity garnered mass attention. Everyone knew it, and everyone called it Maya. This led to the phenomenon of all small brown bird species being referred to as Maya, leaving little room for the general public to recognize distinct bird species. It would be like seeing any bluebird in the US and calling it an indigo bunting. Okay, so what? If you see a bluebird and just assume it's an indigo bunting, you may have missed the opportunity to realize you've witnessed a vulnerable species instead. It's the same with the Maya. You see a unique native species and assume it's just a common invasive sparrow, and you've missed out on all the nuance that makes the rare endemic bird such a treat to see. Not that we don't love Eurasian tree sparrows here, just that, in this context, they're sort of stealing the limelight from a really cool native species. A cinnamon ibon may just get the generic Maya name slapped on it when observed, but it's entirely different from the other Maya species. It's also, ironically, rarely seen. The cinnamon ibon is a cryptic species. Hell, it's even part of their scientific name. Hypocryptadius cinnamomeus. It means something like the hidden cinnamon bird. Ibon is the Filipino word for bird, and for a century it was classified with an entirely different bird family. This is a white-eye. You can tell by the white ring around its eyes. The cinnamon ibon doesn't have this white ring, but it hangs out with white-eye species, so it sort of just got grouped with them via association. It stayed that way for over 100 years until some scientists looked a little deeper. Nestled deep in the sparrow family tree, and related to ancient sparrow species unlike many alive today, the cinnamon ibon is a relic. It's likely this small bird arrived on the island of Mindanao by accident, blown by some chance winds or floating on driftwood. But once it landed, it stayed, living separated from its distant relatives for generations upon generations. And now, although it's genetically clearly a sparrow, it's a bit of a weirdo. Instead of suburban gardens, urban parks, or open grasslands, the cinnamon ibon lives in mountain forests far from the urban landscapes where most Mayas are seen. It's been referred to as the forest canopy sparrow for its preferred habitat. Residing at least 3,280 feet, 1,000 meters above sea level, the cinnamon ibon is hidden at home. Even recordings of this elusive species are rare. Watch a typical sparrow, and it tends to keep its feet on the ground, but the cinnamon ibon is odd. It utilizes the entire forest, from floor to canopy, flocking with other birds while foraging. These flocks take insects, gleaning them from tree branches and leaves. They also gather fruits, seeds, and other plant-based foods as they move from the treetops to the understory below. Standing 6 inches, 15 centimeters long on average, the cinnamon ibon is on the larger side of sparrow species. Its common name comes from its cinnamon color, flowing along its wings and back and fading to cream across its belly. Its eyes are dark red, and its feet are gray. And here too is a significant difference from other sparrow species. The cinnamon ibon is not sexually dimorphic. Sexual dimorphism is the observable difference between males and females of the same species. It's common in birds. The peacock displays his massive tail of blues and greens, while the peahen, in comparison, displays as drab. So too do many members of the sparrow family, although notably not the aforementioned invasive Eurasian tree sparrow. Males and females are essentially indistinguishable in the field. This is also the case for the cinnamon ibon, another trait linking them to the not really Maya. Even the juvenile cinnamon ibon is similarly colored, meaning they also fall into the trap of being overlooked as just another brown bird, if observed. At the end of the day, any cinnamon ibon can be written off as a Maya. This might not matter as much if this species population wasn't slowly dwindling. The cinnamon ibon depends on its unique forest habitat to survive. It can't just move to the suburbs like any other sparrow. The concern with this is that cloud forests throughout its range are being eliminated. It's estimated that within the past decade, these mountain forests have declined by 2.5%. That may not seem significant, but if we zoom out and consider the size of this bird's range in relation to the rest of the world, it's not exactly a lot of space. The cinnamon ibon only exists in the Philippines. It's an endemic species that does not, and likely cannot, survive anywhere else on Earth. As more trees are cut down, so too are the cinnamon ibon's chances at maintaining a place on the tree of life. Add to this that there are no studies and very few recordings of the nesting habits of this species. There's so much we don't even know. Not all hope is lost, though. Awareness offers assistance to maintaining animal populations. If you're seeing this video, share it with others. Let them know about this fantastic little bird that no one knows about. The cinnamon ibon is not just another Maya. At the moment, its fate may simply be to fade into obscurity, but my hope is that this video and continued research into its unique qualities can change this. Here's something else to consider. Although the cinnamon ibon is cryptic, there's one way we can reliably seek it out. Take a moment and listen. That is the call of the cinnamon ibon. It may be tough to see in its forest home, but it's not entirely obscured. This whistling chirp gives scientists, both professional and citizen alike, the opportunity to locate and study this one-of-a-kind species. In an age where biodiversity loss is occurring at an alarming rate, it's important that we appreciate the animals around us while we still have time to do so. The cinnamon ibon is one such species. Let's love it while it's living. You can also show your love by joining the AFF Patreon. Dad, Spike Spiegel 93, and all of our channel members help support human-made content just like this. You can join them by becoming a member, giving a thumbs up, or leaving a comment if you learned something new. Thank you for watching Animal Fact Files.